So when we make this comparison between the two teams, and there are so many similarities that we've discussed all off season, losing Heisman Trophy winners and the head coaching positions that have fallen to guys that left other premier programs, the whole deal, the offense being prolific, the defense being horrible, the change on the staff. The one constant on the USC side is obviously the play caller, who's arguably the best in the game, versus a change on the offensive side for LSU. So any concerns there with continuity, because that was the side of the ball that was working, and there's a change obviously at the OC position.
Yeah, so Jaden is one of the best, and look, this is going to sound controversial and very biased, but statistically speaking, Jaden is one of the best Heisman winners of all time. Now, I'm not saying he's the best. I'm not saying he accomplished as much as some others that actually won natties or whatever, but it's just the truth. And you lose him, you lose Malik Neighbors, you lose Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, it's just a big deal. But LSU's receiver room has looked really good, Mark. Chris Hilton has taken another step. Chris Hilton was a higher rated recruit than both Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. He's faster than both of them. He's not as good as those guys, but he has become a more well-rounded player. They brought in C.J. Daniels, who, by all accounts, Mark, was the number one rated wide receiver in the transfer portal. Now, there's others, like Evan Stewart is definitely probably better, but in terms of production, he was the best in terms of yards per route run. And then Kyron Lacey is probably going to be an early round draft pick. And they brought in Mississippi State's best receiver last year in Xavier Thomas. So they're going to be good there. They're going to be really good at tight end. You can make a very strong case this is the best tight end room in LSU history. You could also make a very strong case that this is the best offensive line in LSU history. The issue is going from Jaden and us. And Garrett Nussmeier is going to be a very, very good quarterback this year, Mark, in his first year as a full-time starter. Caleb Jackson and Josh Williams should be a really good tandem at running back. It is a little bit of a question, though, because you do have a new play caller. The difference, though, is this play caller, even though he's younger and Joe Sloan, has play calling experience, okay? Not a whole lot of it, but he does have some. He also sat in the chair next to Mike Denbrock every single game. So communication-wise, yes, the guy who's actually calling the shots changes, but the guy who replaces him sat next to him every single day for every single game. And on top of that, he has been the quarterback's coach. I think that also helps out in this situation. Mike Denbrock was the tight ends coach. So, more often than not, your OC is a QB coach. That's going to help out Joe Sloan in this process. I do think Mike Denbrock's really good. There's a reason why Notre Dame paid him what he paid him, and he went back home to the Midwest. But I still think Joe Sloan will be fine. I think this LSU offense will be fine.
Carter's here breaking down LSU in the SEC. You can join him right here on YouTube on Power Hour LSU, Power Hour SEC, Power Hour NFL. Yeah. The NFL is just days behind college football, so we're getting excited about that as well.
College football is even more exciting with some action on the line. And the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Let's start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread. I've got a 40-year track record. In fact, in 2023, at $100 played per game, you would have netted over $9,300. And guess what? I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill, our ace in the hole, show stopper from Wager Talk. 6 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick, which went 21-5 against the spread the last 2 seasons. I repeat, 21-5 against the spread. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Steve Dace and Matt Zemek. Become a YouTube channel member or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2024 a winner now.